To a special episode. Hello everyone, welcome to a very special episode of our live stream today here at PureArts. My name is Dan Richard at PureArts Studios, in case you never heard of me, and I'm here with Manuel Sanchez from Scorpion Masque.
Hi.
Hi, how's it going? Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks to invite me.
My pleasure. So, guys, today we have a very exciting collaboration we're going to talk about today that PureArts is involved with Scorpion Masque in the amazing license of Dead Cells. You guys have pulled off a huge Kickstarter that is crazy exciting. When did it launch?
It launched on Tuesday.
So just on Tuesday, and already you've got over 5,000 backers. It's just this incredible project. So today we're going to introduce ourselves. We're going to talk a little bit about this Kickstarter and what we've been up to and what's going on. And it's just an amazing collaboration, and this game looks incredible. So for those of you that don't know, PureArts has been around for a very long time. We've been manufacturing and producing collectibles and high-end statues in the collectibles industry, specifically around gaming, but also around other licenses for about 14 years now. And as you can see, guys, right here in front of us, we've got a sample of something that we've worked on. But of course, we've worked on collectibles for Ubisoft, Riot Games, the Terminator, Lord of the Rings, all kinds of stuff like that. And we do all kinds of shows and things. And I guess now we're dabbling with board games a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. So tell us a little bit about what's going on over there at Scorpion Masque. Now, you are the head of studio for Scorpion Masque.
Yes, and Scorpion Masque is a board game publisher that has been founded in 2006 by Christian Lemay. And right now we have more than 45 games published in 40 different countries.
Wow, okay.
And I think that the game that the biggest game we have are Decrypto, Turing Machine now, that is a huge hit, and I would say Zombie Kids Evolution, that is an evolution game for kids.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
When's that from? How old is that game?
It's been out since 2018.
Okay, so this is not your first board game at all.
No, it's not at all, and we've been working on this one since a long time ago.
All right, cool. Well, so far what I've seen looks amazing. The trailer, you guys just saw the trailer. The trailer is like absolutely gorgeous. So what exactly, so this is Dead Cells. This is a Rogue-Lite game, board game. What exactly is this game?
Dead Cells or the board game?
What, you know what? Tell us what Dead Cells is. Guys, you know I'm not much of a gamer, right? I'm more of a Predator fan and Aliens and that kind of thing. So yeah, why don't you tell us about Dead Cells and then how it translates into this game, into the board game?
Dead Cells is a Rogue-Lite game from an independent studio based in Bordeaux called Motion Twin. And since the game, when that game launched, it was an instant hit. It's a Rogue-Lite and Metroidvania, so they dubbed that Rogue-Vania. It's
right. This is what you explained before to me.
Yeah, that's right. So basically, it's a Rogue-Lite because when you die, you lose all your progress, but one currency named the cells, and you can spend that to buy upgrades that will stick with you forever. So each run, you're getting to be a little bit stronger and stronger and stronger, and you're going further and further and further. And it's a Metroidvania because when you will roam the prison and the different biomes of the game, you will see stuff that are blocked or locked. You cannot open that door or go through that pass.
Okay.
And eventually, you will find runes that will unlock that path for you. So you will go back, and then you will be able to find another route and maybe go through a new biome you've never seen before. Or you will be able to find a new loot that was not accessible. And that's this weird mix of these two genres that make that's also popular.
That's great. And these are like super old games. It's funny that we still call that genre, like, you know, we use that same term today. Some of those games, like Castlevania, is like super old, right?
Yeah.
So the difference is, so as you progress, if you die, you retain some of what you had, whereas we were talking about Rogue-Lite, which means you lose everything.
Yeah, Rogue-Lite, you lose everything. Rogue-Lite
sounds frustrating.
Yeah, but it creates something very, very peculiar, and you grow to be attached to that, and it creates a tension because you know if you lose, you will lose everything.
Yeah, it would be very stressing.
You're very stressed. You're like, oh, it's the first time I meet that boss. I have to beat it, and boom, you start over. But now you know how it reacts. Maybe you will have a better run before that boss, and you will beat it another time. It's very addictive.
And Dead Cells has a huge following. Now, this is an indie studio or a AAA studio that put this out?
It's an indie studio, but
which makes and indie studio fans tend to be very loyal to these games. They're very it's a big community.
Yeah, that's true. We were talking about that just before. We had a conversation about that, and I think that in in indie studio they have a crowd that they are very loved, and people tend to be very involved in that kind of games, rather than in AAA.
Yeah, it's true. Well, especially in indie studios, like make it or break it. Like oftentimes the indie studio, that game, that they're surviving on that. Mm-hmm. That is their oxygen. Without that game, there's no indie studio.
Yeah, and sometimes they're able to pull something that's really out of the ordinary, and that can gather a very, very big crowd of fans, and that's when they explode.
Which Dead Cells had. I actually have a couple of people. My boyfriend loves playing Dead Cells, so clearly got some gamers here watching us. How did this go into? How did this become a project for you guys? How did you guys get involved, and how did this board game even come about?
In fact, I was obsessed with the idea of creating a Rogue-Lite board game since a long time ago, maybe before Dead Cells was released in 2017, I think. And I was trying different things, but it never worked. And later, we were working on Zombie Kids Evolution. So we were working on evolutive mechanics for games, for a kid game. And we were injecting a lot of video game concept in there to do the evolutive system. And after that, we worked on Zombie Teens, so the sequel, and we were working on new kind of evolutive system. So we were creating like a kind of expertise in evolutive games, game after game, and so there was a lot new ideas around that at that time for us. And at the same time, Dead Cells got out, and I was working on that project of game and writing some stuff for the evolutive system of the game, and I played Dead Cells, and
it was like a match.
It was exactly
nice.
What I wanted to play
cool.
And what I wanted to make. So the more I was writing and working on that project, the more it was looking like Dead Cells. And at a time, with Christian, the founder of Scorpion Masque, we were in an impasse. We were stuck.
Yeah, you were stuck. Yeah, an impasse.
Yeah, we were stuck. We had a concept of evolutive system, but we had no engine for the game. So we talked to Kaedama, the team Kaedama is the designer team, Antoine Boza, Ludovic Maublanc, Corentin Lebras, and Théo Rivière, because we needed help, and we needed designers to work with us on the engine of the game and on the game, because not only the engine, but after that we knew that it would have to be a big game with a lot of content, a lot of characters, monsters, weapons, biomes, and we were not confident that we could do that alone, and we were not game designers. So we talked to them about that project, and they were in 100%, so it was very, very cool. And by chance, Theo, one of the designers, knew someone that worked in Motion Twin. So he just took his phone and
made a call.
That's
cool.
And it's crazy because we tried a couple of times to work on IPs, and it's very hard to reach the right people and to have answers and to be able to work on that. And Motion Twin, they were really enthusiastic right from the beginning, and they were very, very approachable, and it was easy to talk with them, and it took very short time to close the deal. And so that game...
That's always great. That's always fun when that happens.
It's really cool. So in a short time, that game that was so close to Dead Cells became Dead Cells, and we had the IP, we had the designer team, and we had our own expertise in evolutive games. So everything was ready by 2020.
Now, you and I talked for just a few minutes, and I was already like, wow, this game is like crazy. When you did the full presentation to Motion Twin, they must have been like, oh, this is cool. Like, were they blown away by what you were proposing?
At the beginning, it was just a concept. So the first time
it wasn't even fleshed out yet. Yeah, it's true.
We didn't have all the characters, and the game mechanic was not in place, and Well, all that we had was something like 20 pages of documents that were describing what we wanted to do and proving that we did understand what was the game about.
Yeah.
And they had the confidence that it will be good also because they knew the team of designers. Because Antoine Bozal, Guillaume Blanc, Corentin and Theo, they are very known. They've made games that are huge, like Antoine did Seven Wonders.
I know that game. I don't even play board games. I know that game.
And that's a lot. It's a game that's known by everyone.
Yeah.
It's a new classic. So they were very, very experienced designers. So Motion Twin was confident that the game will be good. We had also at Scorpion Masque, we had a good streak with.
Well, you had a track record of success, of course.
Good games. So all that made that they were able to accept without having played the game. And after that, when we had a prototype with something more advanced, Theo went to their office in Bordeaux and they made it play and they had a blast. So they were all the more confident after that it was a good decision.
That's amazing. Very cool. Okay, and then, so now there's a main character, right? Well, in your game, in the board game, there's 4 main characters, but it's all starring the Beheaded.
Yeah. And that's a question that a lot of people ask, because when you're playing Dead Cells, the video game, it's a solo game and you're playing alone in the game. But we wanted to be a board game. In the board game, in French, we have a more larger word that is jeu de société. And
Sure.
Jeu de société.
Community game or something.
So you have to be a lot of people around the table and share it with your friends. So we wanted that to be able to do that. So we had to find a way to play with more than one character. And still, we kept the solo mode, so maybe we can show that after that. But we have a solo mode when you can play alone with your game. You will have a companion that serenade the little flying sword in the game that I will accompany you.
Okay.
But still, you can play with your friends. It's a cooperative game, so everyone plays together. And we had to invent 4 variants of the Beheaded. So we worked with Nayad, that is a very, very talented French artist for the concept. And he drew all the new 4 characters. And we work very, very closely with Motion Twin to be sure that they will be recognizable, like a Dead Cells character, but still a part of the board game.
Nice. And we've got one here. So this is the Poisoned.
Yeah.
And the characters are based on how they died?
Exactly.
I love that concept. That's cool.
You have the Poison, the Immolated, the Flayed, and the Quartered.
Okay. Oh, one of them got quartered.
Yeah.
Oh, when they sew him back up? How that? Poor guy. That's the worst one of them all. Jeez, that's rough.
And his powers are derivated from that, because he's the one able to hit anyone at any distance, because he can throw his arms. And
that's so cool. So he just like throws his limbs around.
Yeah.
That's really, really cool. All right. So do you want to talk about the character that we've got going on here, or do you want to talk about the game, the game pieces first? What would you like to discuss first? So we talk about why is PureArts involved in this at all?
Yeah, maybe we can speak about that and show the huge miniature, because usually when you do a game like that or a Kickstarter like that, it's common that you have miniatures.
Right, which is?
Like the little one that we see there, but it's not usual that you have something as big as this collectible.
That's it, yeah.
And it was not a part of the campaign at the beginning. When we started the project, or even 6 months ago, this project didn't exist.
Okay, so this is really recent.
Yeah, it's really recent. What we wanted to have was a miniature for the game, for the collector box during the Kickstarter campaign.
Yeah.
We didn't want to have too many miniatures because it's really complicated to do all that, and we wanted also our game to be in a certain price range.
I was going to say it jacks up the price like crazy.
Yeah. So it was not that kind of game that we wanted. So we just wanted one miniature to make sure that fans have something very special. to have with the collector box, but it was only the game miniature. But
and we're showing it on the screen right now. I mean, it's incredibly detailed. It's crazy. Like, we wouldn't be able to see it if we were showing it on camera, but when you hold it in your hands, it's like, it's unbelievably detailed. So who designed that?
So the concept art are from Naiad, and the 3D sculpt is from Thomas Chou, a French sculptor. And when we had the 3D render of the miniatures, we were blown away. And I showed that the same day. I sent that to Motion Twin, and they were ecstatic. And Scorpion Masque, me and them, everyone was really, really good. It's a shame we only do one miniature with that. So we wanted to do something more, but there were no game mechanics that were using separated miniature or other miniatures. So I came up with the idea to propose something larger, like a collectible, but I had no idea how to produce that, because I'm from the board game industry. I've worked on several games with miniatures, but board game miniatures. Like Assassin's Creed Brotherhood of Venice with Triton Noir. I was the art director on the miniatures on that project. So I knew how to work on miniature like that, but not huge collectible. And it's a weird coincidence, because the same week or a few days after that,
we ran into a couple of PureArts folk.
Yeah, we had a meeting with Arnaud and Ryan from PureArts for something totally different. And we were here in your showroom, and I have to say it's fun
in there, isn't it?
It's so impressive.
There's a lot of expensive things.
Did you already made a video where you show the place?
Yeah, we've done tours and stuff like that, and we actually have a VR tour, or we had a VR tour where you could run, but it kept changing so much that we had to take it down. So for those of you that don't know, we have a studio office in the old port of Montreal in Canada. And pretty much all the statues actually that we've ever manufactured are in our studio on these giant display cases, and it looks pretty cool. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, you have characters at 1/1 scale. You have dragons and
all kinds of
resin
stuff.
kits, and it's crazy. So we were there looking at all that, and it was like magic. And we had this other project to talk about, and we talked.
Secret projects.
Yeah. Maybe later.
Maybe later we'll talk about it.
And I just say, hey, we have a Kickstarter for that stuff coming up. Would you guys help us or give us some knowledge about how to do that? And all the team embarked almost immediately, and it was a blast to work with.
Well, considering it's been just that little amount of time to already have the prototype here, like, that's pretty crazy. They didn't waste any time.
And the time wasted was on our side, not on PureArts side.
Good job, PureArts. So this is our 1/8 scale, the poison, the beheaded in PVC. And now this is going to be included as an optional add-on with your Kickstarter campaign. Is this exclusive to the campaign?
Yes.
So you don't buy it during the campaign, you don't get it.
Done. To be really totally transparent and say the fine lines that we are putting on the campaign, there is a MOQ. So if the number of miniature buy during the campaign is lower than the MOQ, it is possible that we put that on the PureArts online shop, but only if there are leftovers.
Are we allowed to know what the MOQ is? Or is that like a secret? Not to put you on the spot. No, if it's a secret, we can't say it. It's all right.
I'm not sure.
No, okay. Well, we can't tell you. Sorry, guys.
No. Let's be totally transparent. It's 3,000.
3,000.
Yeah.
Based on the amount of backers you have, I think you're probably going to sell out. And you still have. Hopefully. When does it end? You still have like 2 more weeks or another week and a half?
Yeah, it's ending on June the 2nd.
Wow. Okay. So this is quick.
So you'll have maybe a little chance during the pledge manager to grab one, and after that, if all is sold, it's done.
You're done. Okay, guys. So you might want to pledge, or you're going to miss out on this. And we can look at the pledge levels. We can check out the Kickstarter page actually, and take a peek at that too. Do you want to call that up? Do you want to go over the Kickstarter page and we'll take a look at it real quick? Mr. Brian at Central Control. Wait, do I do like in the news? You know where you go to the earpiece? Load up the Kickstarter page, please. There you go. Okay, so here's our Kickstarter page, and we don't see it anymore. We were Brian Guillot. There you go. Wow, this went up already you were at 650 this morning. So, wow, the pledges are going up like crazy. Congratulations. This is an amazing project.
Thank you.
You know, we did our Orlog project too, so we know like how nerve-wracking it is to spend so much time and energy and put up the Kickstarter and you're like, oh, please. And then when it starts taking off, you're like, oh,
it's very stressful. When you push the button and you put all that online, you say, okay.
And everyone's in the office like this, and there's probably a big monitor somewhere that's got like what you're at. Like, did you guys do that?
Yeah, we had a huge screen, and it was projected on that, and all the employees were there and were waiting, and they were,
That's cool. It's like you got the big screen up there. It's like, guys, look at this to know if you're going to be working next month.
They were cheering,
cool. That's awesome.
And when we had like some milepoints, like 1,000.
Yeah, the milestones.
Milestones on 50,000, 100,000. They were all cheering. Yeah.
Well, you hit the 50,000 in like 13 minutes, right?
Yeah, it was very quick.
That's crazy. Well, good for you. So this is the page here, and you've got all kinds of goodies going on here. Like this is the explanation on this is huge. So there's the pledges. I don't know if it's covered up by our little camera there, but what are the different pledge levels that you have?
It's a very simple Kickstarter page. You have the $1 pledge that's just to keep an eye of it. Be sure that you have all the news on your mailbox and to be able to be noticed when the pledge manager will be open.
Can you access the pledge manager if you just pledge the $1?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, perfect. So if people just want an add-on, for example, you can pledge the $1 and still get access to the add-ons.
Sure.
Okay.
Or if you want just to monitor the campaign and decide later before the end of the campaign if you want to jump in or not, you can just use this pledge.
Okay.
After that, you have that's pledge. That's the standard edition.
Okay.
And after that, the collector's pledge. That's the big edition with all the special content, like the miniatures.
That's the collector's pledge? I think we're showing that. Yeah, that's just on the screen right now. Okay.
You have a metal first player token. All the boards will be double layered.
Okay.
And all cosmetic upgrades, like all the tokens in the game will be in acrylic.
Okay. So not paper. It's like acrylic. It's gonna be like a cardboard. Okay.
So you have a lot of upgrade like that, and we are offering more upgrades with daily reveals every day.
Right. So every day you've got something new going on, like every single day.
Every day.
So that means there's something cool that happened today.
Yeah.
What do we do today?
That's right. The today's news. So it should have been posted a few minutes ago. You have 3 new cards in the game, and that's companions. So what's cool about that is that we kept the campaign very simple. There is not a lot of I wanted to say DLCs, but of other
the add-ons,
yeah, there are add-ons, but there are not a lot of different new biomes or I keep my mind stuck on DLC, like DLC, but for board games.
Yeah, what is a DLC for a board game? Yeah, that's true. That's okay. We know what you're talking about.
So there are not a lot of that. But Motion Twin accept to put a little bit of content from the various DLC in the game. So that's what we're doing today. We are adding the Mushroom Boy, the Warhol, and the Leg Hugger in the game, and all 3 companions that are in different DLC in the game normally. So we're adding that to the pledge, and there are weapons that have very special mechanics because they have life points. So we have to take care of them for not losing them. And the Mushroom Boy is one of the favorites of Matt from the Dead Cell dev team.
Okay.
So he recorded a little video that you can go see on the Kickstarter page, on the news page.
As Mushroom Boy?
No.
I love that. By the way, sorry to interrupt really quick, guys. I know some of you have some questions. There's a lot of questions that are kind of scrolling through. We're going to do a QA at the end. So we're going to do a whole questions and answers period, because I know some people are asking, like, what languages is it going to be available? Will there be a retail version of this afterwards? That sort of thing. So guys, just hang in there, and we'll do some QA at the end. Okay? All right. Sorry. Let's keep going.
And we also, speaking of daily reveals, yesterday we revealed a very, very cool add-on for the collector's pledge. It's a new character based on the character from the animated little video you saw in the trailer, the beginning of the trailer. It's from the motion twin animated little trailers.
Is it like a short or?
Yeah, and this guy is called Bobby. So we've done a new character called Bobby. It's totally different from the other because it's a cartoony game. Yeah, you can see it there. So it's a cartoony guy. He has very special abilities, and it's only for the.
That's him. That's him there on the screen. Okay.
It's only for the collector version.
Cool. Very, very cool. Okay. What about now? One of the things we wanted to ask. Well, I love the whole way you got introduced to PureArts, and it seems like it's going along very fast. Do you guys have a timeline when you plan on like shipping this? When do you guys? When's the point? When are you planning on getting this out to?
It's planning for September 2024.
Okay.
We need time to prepare all the files, produce the game, ship the game, and we are very prudent on the date because we don't want to make.
Don't miss the mark. Yeah, no, I get it.
Don't want to miss the mark. Yeah.
Don't overpromise, underdeliver. I get it.
Exactly.
And we all know, well, you know, from our Orlog experience, which is our first ever board game, our first ever Kickstarter, we learned a lot of lessons, and one of them is give more time. Give yourself more, especially with the volume, with the amount of backers you have. You're not going to be making just a few dozen of these. You're going to be making thousands. It's good. I think I think everybody better take their energy drink, their Red Bull, and get ready because they're going to be busy for sure. Okay, so did you want to show off maybe some of these game pieces and some of the boards and stuff?
Yeah.
Let's show these off. So here, there you go. You got the camera view right there. And if you want to just explain what's what.
Yes. Here you have the board for Serenade. It's the board for your companion during the solo play. And it has his own set of cards, and his own mechanics. Here are the boards for the characters. Obviously, this is a prototype we've done last month for the Kickstarter campaign. This is our single layer board, but during the campaign, if you buy the collector version, you'll have the double layer board. Each character has his own set of cards, of course, action cards. We can show some monsters that will.
Yeah, Brian's over there messing with the focus, the autofocus for us. There you go. We're gonna handheld this. There we go.
Yes.
Oh, nice. There you go. That looks great.
So we have some monsters.
Now these are your prototype cards, right? This is your prototype game. So are things going to be a little bit different than this, or it's just like different materials, or how's that? What's the difference between like this and what the final product will be?
But the cards, it will be really similar, but it's just a prototype. Some of the elements may change. We have to work on the balance of the game. We have a few months in front of us to make everything very perfect gameplay-wise before sending it to production.
Okay.
So there may be some stuff that is different. The boards have already changed because of the constraint of the double layered. We changed a couple of things. The designers have changed or tweaked some abilities. So it's a work in progress. We are very close to the delivery, but we have some work to do, and we want to improve the visuals and some stuff. But all illustration are done and validated.
The artwork is gorgeous. The artwork is gorgeous. I can tell you that right now. I'm sure people are going to love just the boxes is stunning.
Thank you. It's been a huge work because the video game was pixel art, and we didn't want to make pixel art for the board games. And we wanted to have
pixel art. Yeah.
Some board games use pixel art.
It's quite retro.
We didn't want to do that, so we had to redo every character, every monster, every object in the game. So we used the pixel art as a base to do that, and the art team did an amazing job to redo all that.
We got some feedback already. I love the art. Hey guys, this looks cool. We got the people are just loving this, and it looks phenomenal. I agree.
It was a huge work with Motion Twin 2 because every illustration has to be sent to them for approval, and they were very, very helpful, and they changed some stuff for the better in some cards, and a lot of illustration and cards were very, very quickly approved And sometimes they even do a little doodle on the screen to show, okay, you can put more light there or a little bit there, and it's incredible. And I myself discovered some stuff in the characters that I didn't knew were there. And I saw in the comments in the social media that people discovered that too. And like, you look at the illustration, I didn't knew that it was there.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, there's a lot.
Is this character a woman? I never saw that. So.
It's no, but it looks amazing. I mean, the packaging is crazy too, right? Like this. Did you guys put so much work? And how long did it take to develop? Like, when did this start? Well, I know you did mention it was years ago that you were sort of planning it, but once you actually had, okay, we're doing this game, this is moving forward, we're doing this. How long did it take to get to the point we're at now?
For the illustration, it took 9 months.
Wow.
So 9 months for all the illustration and the game and the packaging. For the game development, it's longer than that because we in 2020 we had the base of the basic of what we wanted to do for the evolutive system, but there were no core gameplay, no engine, so it's more than 3 years for the game development in itself.
Okay.
Plus the time before that to have the idea and knew what it should be.
And how does that compare in terms of like a regular board game development? Is that average, or is that this was really extra? Like what?
No, it's bigger, and that's why we needed Kickstarter to make that, because it's longer. There are more people involved.
And that was what I was going to ask: is why did you choose Kickstarter for this one?
Without Kickstarter, this game would just not exist because it was very, very risky. It was the first time we were working on a game of this scale. We've done a lot of board games, and sometimes with complicated concept or rules or challenges in the development. But this one is a new scale for us. So that's why we worked with Kaidama, because with them we had 4 designers, very talented, and not just one, because we knew that it will be long. There are a lot of content to develop.
There's so much content. That's the thing I can't get over. Like, there's just so much.
And the illustration, so all that have a cost, and because also of the cost of the game, you see it's a very, very big box.
Yeah, so pick up the box, like show how big that box is. Like, I want people to get a sense. Like, this is not, and look how thick it is. Like, this is not a tiny little game box. And the box is beautiful, by the way. It's really, really nice.
And we weren't certain if we just released this game the normal way that we'll be able to absorb all the costs.
Well, sure. You've already invested a ton in this development. I mean, this is like, you even started manufacturing. Or have you started actually manufacturing anything yet, or you just got everything in place to start the manufacturing process?
We work closely with Panda, that will be the manufacturer.
Which is a huge manufacturer for that.
And we have when we are lucky because there is one person of Panda that is based in Montreal.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes it easier, doesn't it?
So it's easier to work with them, to have someone to talk with and to exchange ideas and see the constraint that we'll have, all that. So we have quotes. We know what will be in the game, and they're working right now on blanks. So the manufacturing process has started. They are working on the miniature, so to check that all is okay for the production and start the mold very soon. So everything is in place. It's not started obviously because we need the quantities, the number of backers. We need to fine-tune the game to know exactly the number of cards, one card at a time, all that. But it's really advanced.
Speaking of which, for the backers, was there a number in your head that you want to hit in terms of backers, like the number that's your like your dream number? Did you have this already in your head, or you're like, whatever happens happens?
I would say whatever happens because it already we know now that it will be more than what we expected.
Oh yeah, this is happening. Yeah, for sure.
Because of the size of the project, we have very strict budgets because it's very important. We are a professional publisher. So we are not jeopardizing our society, our structure in every game we make. So we make budgets and check that everything is okay. And we had a number roughly We wanted to have.
Okay, so you knew, yeah, this is what we got to hit, but
Yeah, we thought that it will be reasonable to think that we will reach 5,000 or 5,000 backers at the end of the campaign, and
you passed that.
we are already there, so
Yeah.
we're really happy with that, and
Amazing.
now everything is a bonus for us, and we are really happy to it's make us very motivated to continue the work
That's
on the
amazing.
game,
Good
and to
stuff.
fine tune it, and to offer every daily release. So
I love that you got daily content, and that's the thing too. Is when you put up a campaign, like your campaign, it's not like you just pop it up there and sit back. Oh, we're done. Let's watch the ride. It's still tons of content. You're posting daily. It's very demanding to put together that kind of campaign. You guys are doing a great job. It looks amazing.
it's a lot of work, and we team up with La Boîte de Jeux on that because, as we said, it was our first Kickstarter campaign. We knew how to make games. We know how to produce games and deliver games, but we are not expert on Kickstarter.
And this is their territory.
Yes, and we wanted to deliver the best experience for the backers, so we team up with them. They are the one that has one of their most famous game is It's a Wonderful World and It's a Wonderful Kingdom. So they know how to deliver a Kickstarter correctly.
And they're going to manage your pledge manager and all that. Like they're taking care of all that.
Yes,
Great.
of course, and all the work because people don't realize, but as you said, during the campaign, before the campaign, it's crazy. You have to produce everything to make sure that
Yeah.
everything is right. During the campaign, it's still crazy.
Yeah, you don't
because
get to relax.
You have to answer, and they have. It's a whole team working on that to answer to every backer that.
And there's
questions.
hundreds of comments and questions. It's hundreds. Believe me, I know.
They answer to everyone. They make sure, and we're working with them for the daily reveals, producing all the content, the image, the text, to make sure that we interest people, and it's an ever-changing content because of the question of the backers, we changed that our plan. For example, people are asking about the replayability of the game, and a lot of people ask questions about that. So we're working on the news next week that will explain all that.
Okay.
It was not a part of it was not planned, but
But
now
you saw that there was a demand for it, so yeah.
So we are working on that, so to
Makes
explain to them how it will work, and the depth of the game, the number of games we will be able to play, and all that.
Now, is this game available? Is it available to worldwide backers? Is this all over the world? Or are there any?
Almost, but there are territories that are always a problem to deliver games to. So if you are in a country that is not listed in the bottom of the page, contact the team and they will say if we are able to ship there or not.
Like further down, you've got like the ship rates and the countries and all that available?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, perfect.
And it's possible that if you are in the country where shipping is really, really complicated, you will not be able to
there's some that
to
are
have it, but we're doing our best. There is a very famous story about that on Secret Hitler. You know, Secret Hitler is a board game that has been very, very successful.
What happened?
And they promised to send the game everywhere in the world.
Okay.
And for some countries, I think it was Russia, it was not possible. It's not possible. Like the pledge never.
Well, especially in recent history, it's impossible. Even us, we don't even ship anymore to Russia. We can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they discovered that, but they already promised the backers that game, so they had to pay. And it's not. I'm not revealing a big secret. They already told that in conference, so they had to pay. Illegal German smugglers to go through the
like the Russian border. Oh my God! You got to admire that kind of dedication, though. You know, you start using like the coyotes to smuggle your stuff.
So we are not doing that. So if you're in a very, very complicated country for the shipment, I'm sorry, it will not be possible.
No illegal smuggling by Scorpion Masque. Sorry, guys.
Sorry.
Call a friend. That's outstanding. I had no idea. That's actually pretty good. What about? So we covered. Let's see. We covered that. We've covered international shipping. And the other thing too. We're talking about how even once you launch the Kickstarter, the work doesn't stop. But even once your Kickstarter ends, it still doesn't stop because now you're going to be answering questions and taking care of people for the next year. And well, a year and a bit, right? Because this is September.
Yeah.
And then even once you start shipping, then it's a whole other segment. So you guys know what you're getting yourselves into.
Yes, and again, that's why we working with La Boîte de Jeux, because we are a regular publisher. We are very, very used to the normal way to deliver games, but not that. So we have to work with experts, and we know exactly what you say right now. It will happen, and we have to have a team ready to answer to everyone, to change the address, to send mails to people who hadn't answered, and all that. So all that is covered by La Boîte de Jeux for the next year.
Amazing, good. Oh, so it's great that you got a third party in to help out, because it's huge. It's a big deal. Like you don't expect it, especially when you have the success that you're having. It's pretty crazy.
And speaking of logistic, if you are in Quebec, as we are working closely with Randolph, that is our distributor in Canada, you will be able to skip the shipping fee.
Go local pickup.
And have a local pickup at Randolph, one of the Randolph pubs there. So there are 7 of them, one in Quebec, one in Trois-Rivières, several in Montreal.
These are basically like board game bars, I guess. We actually hosted an event there.
Oh yeah.
Well, we did an Orlog event. Yeah, for our
I know.
We did the Orlog event. Yeah. And somewhere I think Ryan went to one of them in. Is there one in Sherbrooke or something like that? I don't know where it is.
No, I don't think that.
I can't remember. And I was supposed to go to one, and then I ended up having to travel actually, because I was going to go to one that was in Montreal. I know we attend some, but So for those of you that are not in Quebec, that's what that is. It's basically a local pub where you can go and drink and play board games. There is drinking, right?
Yes.
Seems like it would go hand in hand. All right, so just checking. So for the rest of you, sorry, there's no Randolph outside of Quebec. Speaking of Quebec, what are the languages? Will this be available in French? Like, what's the localization looking like?
It's in English and in French. I know that a lot of people are asking about that, and don't worry, it's not possible to choose the language during the Kickstarter campaign, but you will be able to do it during the Pledge Manager. So don't worry, you will have your game in French. During the Pledge Manager, you will be able to choose English or French, and you'll have the right language.
And you have a lot of people in here all talking and asking questions in French. So if you want to tell them in French, oui, ça sera disponible en français.
Oui, ça sera disponible en français, absolument.
There you go.
Dans le Pledge Manager.
Yeah, exactly. And then what about other languages? Like what we found was with Orlog, we had a lot of people just contacting us and say, hey, by the way, I made you instructions in this language. Are you planning anything for localization for other countries, or I'm sure you're going to get asked?
Yes, we will not during the campaign propose games in other languages than French and English, because it's really, really time consuming and complicated, and we are not equipped to do that. And we know it will delay the project very much. So you will be able to have it in English. If someone wants to do a fan translation, they can do it, but we will not. It will not be official.
Yeah.
And after that, you'll have a chance to have the game in your language if a distributor decided to translate it and pick it up. But it will not be the collector version, because the collector version, it's only for crowdfunding. So if a German distributor, for example, decide to do that with us and to have the game in German, it will be the standard game.
Okay.
And later, after that...
So that answers the next question. There will be a retail version of this game.
Yes, there will be a retail version of this game. It will be the standard version. And
so what's the difference between the standard version and, let's say, the collector's?
The collector's version have so the double layered board, the plastic, the acrylic tokens, the metal first player token, the miniature, of course.
Yeah.
The little one. And a lot of you will see during the campaign, we'll continue to add some aesthetic amelioration.
Yeah, some nice little improvements on the side. Yeah.
There are the secret character we revealed yesterday. So another secret character in the game. So a lot of stuff like that will not be in the standard version. Some legendary weapons will only be in the collector version also.
So basically, anyone that's interested in the Kickstarter right now should not wait. This is like, get it now, because if they go retail, they might regret it. They're not going to get all the extra goodies.
I don't want to say that like that, because the retail version, the standard version, is still an extraordinary
Oh, it's
game.
super fun. Yeah.
Super fun, but all that extra content, they will not be able to have it later.
Including this guy.
Including this guy, because this add-on is for the campaign only.
But there's nothing new about that. Kickstarter's always been that way. Whatever you get, as the person you took, you went ahead and said, you know what, I'm going to get this before anybody else. You contributed. You're helping develop that piece. You're always going to get something extra out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've noticed there's a few times where I saw something on Kickstarter, I was like, oh, I really want that, but whatever, I'll wait. I forget about it.
Yeah.
And then a year later, I go and buy it, and then I'm like, I should have got the Kickstarter one, because you got like extra goodies. Because I've bought like cameras and things, and yeah, no, it's a great way to do it for sure.
And we want to do that for the collector version, because for us the collector version is the version of our dream, with all that we want to put in there.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
It's not possible to have that in retails because it will be too expensive.
That's it. There's always a price point you want to
Yes.
hit, right? Yeah.
We don't want to. It's not a gigantic project with tons of miniatures and stuff like that, so it will be really silly to have a collector version in retails at a very, very high price point.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. It was the same thing. That was our experience as well with the one that we did as well. Let's see. Do we want to see if we have any questions?
Sure.
So let me take a look. I got to scroll through because everyone's just talking about. They're talking about the game itself. Someone wrote free shipping. I don't know. Is there free shipping? I don't know.
Free shipping if you live in Quebec and you are able to pick it up in Randolph Pub.
It's free shipping, but you got to buy the gas. J'espère que le jeu de plateau sera autant addictif.
Et on a travaillé très fort là-dessus. C'est un point important. And maybe we want to translate it in English after that.
Yeah. Well, you can translate. You're doing pretty good.
I try. Okay. C'est un point important. Quand on a travaillé sur des jeux comme Zombie Kids, Zombie Teens, on a vraiment travaillé à créer un système évolutif qui était addictif. Quelque chose qui donne envie de rejouer. Quand on termine une partie, on veut en recommencer une autre et une autre et une autre et une autre et débloquer tout le contenu du jeu. Et c'est ça aussi qu'est un roguelite. Souvent, on va jouer, on va perdre, mais on va retourner dans le jeu, débloquer quelque chose et y retourner souvent. Et si vous allez voir un article de Dicebreaker qui a été posté hier, donc sur Dicebreaker hier, vous allez voir que on pense avoir réussi ce pari-là de transformer cet aspect très très addictif du roguelite dans un jeu de société. So in English now, we tried very very hard to have this addictive aspect of the roguelites in the board game. It was one of it was maybe one or maybe the main thing that was written in the first document I was talking about a long time ago. And we were working on Zombie Kids and Zombie Teens and other evolutive games of smaller scale. And it was games that were very, very addictive, and we wanted to have this emotion, this experience in Dead Cells, but at a larger scale. And if you go see Dicebreaker, they published an article yesterday, and we think that we're successful in that. And I want to thank the designers, the KDM team, for having worked on us with that, because it's, I think, one of the best part of the game.
You got there's a whole conversation going. They're telling each other how to play Dead Cells right now. This is what's happening in chat. Somebody asked, I'm not sure if this is a typo, but it's how many biomes come in the game?
Okay, there are 6 regular biomes and one very very big biome, giant biome. So
okay,
and 3 both.
That's from
bosses.
Jody. Okay, do you want to say it? It's from Jody Dowdy. Do you want to say it in French as well?
Yes, of course.
People are asking.
In French, nous avons 6 biomes dans le jeu, plus un 7e très très gros biome, un biome géant, et 3 boss.
And you've got several people saying, en ce moment, il y a plusieurs projets Kickstarter de jeux société adaptés de jeux vidéo. They name a bunch of other ones. They chose Dead Cells car c'était le plus abordable au niveau du prix. So it looks like you're hitting a good price point. Well, like you said, you're not inflating it with extra things that are not super necessary.
It's something we work very hard on, and Kickstarter is a hard place to propose project because it's very hard to have that equilibrium for something that is affordable but that has a reality. It's hard to explain. That is realistic for the company to deliver, because I think you all seen that there are several Kickstarter companies that just disappeared in recent years.
Yeah, that definitely happens.
Because to find this equilibrium, to offer things at the right price,
but you can keep the lights on at your company.
Yes,
yeah, exactly.
But we're working very, very hard, and with our own publisher experience in the regular publisher business, not Kickstarter, helped us a lot, because we know how to work with the factory to have the better components for the best price. So when we do quotes, I'm getting technical. I hope it's not boring.
That's okay. No, well, you got guys on here that love talking about the whole industry section of it too. So this is
when we're working on quotes, we're making quotes and quotes and quotes, and we are tweaking the game's aspects and the components, all that, until we have the right price for the people.
Okay. Il y a du contenu après la mort de la main du roi.
Oui, ça c'est un aspect dont on va discuter, donc c'est ce que je disais tout à l'heure, on va en discuter dans une news la semaine prochaine, mais je peux vous donner un petit peu d'informations tout de suite si vous voulez. C'est une question que posent beaucoup de personnes. Une fois qu'on a battu le 3e boss, donc qu'on a l'impression d'avoir fini le jeu, on n'a pas fini le jeu. C'est exactement comme dans Dead Cells, le jeu vidéo. Vous allez jouer des heures et des heures jusqu'à réussir à battre la main du roi, puis la fois où vous allez réussir, vous allez être « Wow, I did it !» But after that, après ça, vous allez avoir encore du contenu et encore et encore. On a the people of the players of Dead Cells call this game the games that keeps on giving. Donc le jeu qui donne de plus en plus, qui donne toujours plus, parce que le Dead Cells est un jeu qui est extrêmement, le jeu vidéo est un jeu qui est très très généreux. Et c'était très important pour nous de garder cet aspect-là, et je pense que c'est Motion Twin et Evil Empire, la compagnie qui gère Dead Cells avec Motion Twin. Quand ils ont joué au jeu pour la première fois, ils nous ont dit « Ah, c'est extraordinaire, ce jeu est aussi généreux que Dead Cells ». Et donc quand on bat la main du roi, c'est pas terminé. Vous allez avoir une mécanique de cellules de boss. Vous avez sans doute vu sur les plateaux, sur la page Kickstarter, qu'il y a un espace pour cellules de boss. Ça va seulement se débloquer quand vous allez avoir fini le jeu une première fois. Et ça va transformer le jeu. Le jeu va devenir plus difficile. Il y a des nouveaux contenus qui vont apparaître. Et même avant ça, en fait, à chaque fois que vous allez battre un boss ou vous allez progresser dans le jeu, on va continuer à rajouter du contenu dans ce que vous avez déjà traversé. Donc ça va jamais être exactement la même chose. Une fois que vous aurez battu la première section du jeu, que vous aurez battu le concierge, vous allez redécouvrir cette section-là parce que vous allez avoir accès à un autre chemin, parce que vous allez avoir des nouveaux monstres qui vont apparaître dans les decks, etc. etc. Donc c'est un jeu qui continue à s'auto-nourrir et qui se continue.
It doesn't get, yeah, that's it. So even if you finish certain segment, there's always a new way to play it. It's not going to get stale very quick.
Yes, and if you want to unlock everything, you will have to play a lot and to beat the bosses several times with different variants using the mechanic of boss cells.
Let's see. Somebody said Kickstarter, je les trouve de moins en moins intéressantes, mais celui-là, je ne pouvais pas dire non.
Ah, ben ça c'est gentil.
Thank you. Let's see. We've answered that. Somebody proudly declared they live 5 minutes away from Randolph. So there you go. We got some articles going. Just checking, scrolling. People are just throwing love. There's one Capo is freaking out. He's commented like 50,000 times here. He's having a good time. So I wanted to show these off with the close cam.
Yes.
So I don't know, Brian, if you want to come over here and do your handiwork again, I can turn this off. I wanted to kind of show these off. And while I show these off, guys, if you have more questions, feel free to come over here and ask. Or come over here. Just come down to our studio and ask. Now, type your questions in the chat while we go ahead and show these off. So Brian's going to come over here and help us out. And let's check these out. Because, I mean, I find the detailing so cool on these. I know this is all about the game, but, you know, I'm a statue collector. What do you want from me? I'm all about the statues. Sir, if you want to put this over here. And if you want to touch them and turn, I don't want to break that, so.
Yes, it's already broken. So
Oh, no.
I'm sorry. It is a 3D prototype, 3D print prototype.
Yeah.
So it's very brittle, and some little stuff
This guy.
has broken during transport. But in the game, you will have the PVC version. That will be perfect. It will be sturdy. Don't worry, it will not break.
Yeah. Well, that's how prototypes are, right? This is.
Yes.
Yeah.
And for people that could think that Scorpion Masque don't know how to make miniatures, be reassured. I've worked as art director with Triton Noir on the miniatures, on V Sabotage, and
Look at that.
Assassin's
That's
Creed,
crazy.
those are the Venice. So, and before that in the game industry with miniatures. So we know how to do that and be sure that it will be perfect.
Now, this is a silly question, maybe for coming from me, but is this kind of like Warhammer 40,000, where people are do people paint these, or do they just leave them? Like, what do people normally do with these little pieces?
You can paint them, but it will come assembled, because if we are buying the Warhammer 45,
Yeah.
It's come unassembled. You have to
You got to put it together. You paint,
we call that hobby.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you have to build.
It's literally like you're building a tiny model.
And
Yeah.
paint them. So these are different. It come assembled and it's ready to play. But if you want to paint that, you can.
Do people do that? Do people paint them sometimes?
Yes, some of them do. It's more frequent when with hobby games that are made for. But for board games, some people do that with a lot.
The detailing on it is, I'm freaking out just seeing it in person. It's so incredibly detailed for such a tiny.
And
it's amazing.
But
look at that. Guys.
You have to know that the details are great, but there are a certain way to do that for miniatures at this scale. And it's different normally from the larger scale you're used to, because of the scale, you work on proportion differently. Heads or hands or weapons are bigger usually.
It makes sense, yeah.
And details are more have more depth, so that in the production process, it's not it does not disappear. You can work.
That makes sense. Yeah.
You cannot work on little texture, because it will disappear in production.
Yeah,
so
makes sense.
There are a lot of constraints that's very, very specific to that scale. And it's amazing because the sculpt has been made for this scale, but when you scale it up, it's still great. But these differences then gives a little bit of cartoony aspect to it. It's really fun.
Somebody's asking, how many people in total are behind making this game?
A lot, because you have the Scorpion Masque team. I cannot tell everyone because there are too much people, a lot of people working with us. So the whole Scorpion Masque team and a part of the Randolph team joined us and helped us with that too.
Plus your third parties.
Plus the 4 designers, the La Boîte de Jeux team. We are working with a crowdfunding agency. It's an advertising company team to work with us, and you have all the illustrators, the 3D artists.
So an army.
Yeah,
an army.
The team at the Panda, our Panda.
So Shranu, that's your answer. An army. We've got the PVC up here too, so now you can see, and this gives you a sense of the scale as well. So this is a 1/8 figure, and this is the poisons.
It's fun to see both of them
side by side. The colors on this are gorgeous, by the way. This is super nice.
It was an idea of Thomas, the sculptor.
Okay.
He worked with. He's still working with Ankama on video game content, but he also did collectible content with them. So when I said to him, "Hey, could we make something bigger?" He had some idea on how to do that.
Okay.
And when PureArts asked, "Okay, we need a color scheme for that," he embarked immediately, and he was the one proposing the neon color for the head and the poison, the glossy varnish on the vials.
That looks really good.
There is a metallic violet paint on the swords and the metallic parts. So he did a very, very good job on proposing the materials, the colors, all that. And after that, PureArts translate that, and it was very, very striking.
This must be crazy under a black light.
Oh, yeah.
It must light up like crazy. Yeah, this looks really
I don't know
good.
if on camera it's the same aspect than in real life, but all the neon colors are very, very bright and striking.
It looks brighter on camera, I'd say. Like I'm looking at the screen. It looks really bright on the screen right now. Yeah, no, this is really cool. Very nice. All right, let's see what else we got here. People are posting. We got the Kickstarter page up. Oh, there you go. Somebody cracked and they went and bought like the whole kit and caboodle over here. He's like, fine, you got me. Let's see. Combien faut-il de sleeves au total?
The sleeve, you can buy the sleeves as an add-on. So if you add the add-on sleeve,
I'm gonna look ridiculous right now. I don't even know what that means. What's a
Okay.
sleeve?
It's-
Explain that.
a sleeve is when you have cards.
Oh,
like
the
that,
protector for the.
you want to protect them,
okay,
so you
got
have
it.
little sleeves
Okay,
in
got it.
transparent plastic to protect them. And to make it easier for you, you can just buy the add-on with the sleeve. I think, I don't want to say something wrong, but I think in the campaign it's $15 US for the sleeve, and you
Okay.
have all the sleeve you need for the game at the right size, everything.
All right, cool. So that answers that question. That was from that was from Schizo Boy. Let's see. Somebody's asking, vous allez faire quoi comme jeu après celui-ci? Do you have any battle plans you want to unveil? Is there anything you want to talk about?
Oui, en fait,
Oh, giving out the goods. Nice. I like this.
un peu avant la campagne, on a envoyé en production le jeu qui va sortir à l'automne. Donc ce ne sera pas un Kickstarter, ce sera un jeu un jeu régulier en quelque sorte, qui s'appelle Sky Team.
Sky Team.
Sky Team.
Okay.
So keep an eye open for that. It's a game where you play a pilot and a co-pilot. It's
Okay.
a cooperative game for 2 players only.
That's a cool concept. I like that.
So you're the pilot, I'm the co-pilot, and we'll have the tableau de bord, the
Yeah,
cockpit.
the board,
cockpit,
the board.
The board in between you, and each player will throw dice, and you have to place the dice on the cockpit without talking. So you don't know what dice I have,
Okay.
and I don't know what dice you have, and we have to place all our dice to land a plane. So maybe
This is a very high pressure game.
I will contact with my dice. I will contact the radio tower and say, okay, you have to get rid of the airplane in a way, and you at the same time will put a dice
That's cool.
that will open the landing
the landing gear.
landing gear, and we have some space on the board are shared. So for the speed, we have to add our 2 dice. So if I put a die with a 5 and you put a 6, it gives you 11, and we have to. It's our speed for the round. And
That's cool. This sounds amazing.
we are very, very proud of this one, and the game components are very special because it's a 3-layer board. You will have a token that you can turn to represent the axe of
the axe of the
plane, and it's really fun.
This is crazy. And okay, and when should people start? Like, when do you think you're going to start announcing things? This is like next year kind of stuff, or
No, it's
Oh,
it's getting released soon. So you have some information on the internet right now because we've shown it at the Cannes Festival in February,
okay,
and you will be able to see more of that during the Gen Con if you are in the US. In the Gen Con, you will be able to buy the game as en avance.
yeah, pre-order.
Early, no, not pre-order.
Oh no, so early
release.
release. Oh,
There,
okay.
there will
all right,
be
all right.
a limited quantity there, so we'll be able to buy this game, and after that, it will be the official release will
Okay.
be for October.
And where should people go if they want to follow you guys for news? Is there somewhere they should sign up for a newsletter or social media? What's the...
Social media, we have Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We also have a blog on our website.
Okay, and it's all Scorpion Masque is the handle for
Yes,
for
Scorpion Masque for everything.
Okay, perfect. Okay, good stuff. Anything else? Niveau délai, vous pensez être dans les temps? Well, we already talked about your timeline, right? So,
Well, we can say it again, but we've taken a lot of room in there. So in our planning, we plan for September 2024, and we have a lot of space in there to be sure that
Yeah.
any problem is already included. So
BGA available.
it's It's funny. We talked to BGA recently. They're very interested by the game. I don't know if it's easy to do in BGA or not. And it is a campaign game, so I don't know. It's we are talking about that with them, but I don't know if we'll be doing that or not.
Someone's screaming expansions exclamation mark. The Queen 3 DLC.
Expansion is it's a good point. As I said, we didn't want to. That's expansion. That was the word.
That's it. So the DLC,
The DLC
expansions. Okay, got it.
expansion.
All right.
So expansions. We didn't want to offer expansions during this campaign because we had to be very focused on the main game. We wanted to offer the best experience for the people and something that is very solid. We wanted to deliver our stuff on time, and the best way to fail on that is to offer too many expansion during the same campaign as the base game. So we are very focused on the base game right now. If this campaign is successful, and it seems that it is, maybe we'll do another later for expansions, but right now it's not. We don't have any content that is developed around that. We want to finish that.
I think you got your hands full already.
The greatest project available possible, and after that, if the people are in, and if they love the game that is being delivered, we will work on expansion.
Great. Okay, here we go. And Capo says thank you, because Capo is the one asking a ton of questions. He's in this. He's in it for sure. Let's see. Is there any other questions? No, I think that's pretty much it. Let's see. Thanks for the answer. Can't wait to receive the collector's edition. So he's pumped. Was there anything else that you wanted to talk about? Any other little final thoughts? I mean, I can tell just from talking to you, even before when you first walked in, like, you know your stuff big time, and you're so enthusiastic. I love that. Like, I feel like this is work, but it's also like your hobby 100%. You love this, don't you?
In that case, it's a very personal project because it's something I wanted to do from a long time ago, and it has been a very, very long way to arrive there. So it's years and years of thinking about it, speaking to different people about it, and thinking how can we achieve that. And so yeah, it's very something that is very personal, and I'm very grateful for all the people that were working with us on that, because it's so much work to do something like that. Yeah. It's crazy. Trust me, you don't do that for money, because
no, exactly.
If at the end you have a successful campaign like that, it's great, but you don't do it for that.
No, and it's not. Yeah, this isn't about nobody's getting rich from this. It's so expensive to do this project and to finally get this out too, right? Like it's great. It's got to be a project of love for sure. And
I'm very, very grateful for PureArts to embark with us on that, because this add-on is something I wasn't dreaming of, and now it's there.
It looks amazing. We're glad you guys chose us to work with us, because this is an amazing opportunity for us as well. So this is really cool.
And this is a prototype, the PureArt prototype at your office, but we have one at our office, and it's always near my desk, and I love it so much.
Is there like a box around? Nobody's allowed to touch it. Don't touch the prototypes.
No.
Well, I mean, this has been an amazing opportunity, and what's cool is that we get to introduce. We're all introducing our respective fans to the other brand, which is really cool too, right?
And I hope that will work, because it's when we were working on that, I was thinking it's great. Maybe people that love collectibles will buy the board game and will love the board game,
exactly.
And people that love the board game will discover this kind of miniatures. Maybe they didn't even knew that it existed. And now they have a chance to have one, and one of very, very good quality and very nice. So maybe after that they will want more like that. In my case, like I said, I'm from the board game, but now that I've seen that, I want
be careful. Once you're une fois t'es piqué, it's hard to stop. Yes. As all collectors out there know, it's once you start, it's tough. So my final question is, when are we getting some sneaky production samples to try and play here at the office? When is that happening? Should we talk about this?
We already have the prototype there, so we can play.
You're leaving it here when you leave?
No, we if you want to play right now, we can.
All right, sounds good.
And we are working with the factory to have blanks. If we have blanks that are nice during the campaign, maybe we'll do a news or a video to show them to the people, the special part.
We'll just live stream us playing. We'll just live stream us playing. You know, like on Twitch, you know, people just play video games.
Oh yeah.
And then people just, tons of people will do that. We'll just
It exists. In fact, you can see, it will not be live because it has been pre-recorded, but you can see on the page there are several videos. You have videos in French of at least two
gameplay.
Gameplay run, and one in English.
And that's all available on the Kickstarter page.
Yeah,
I noticed that, yeah. So you go on the Kickstarter page, you can check out the gameplay, and you get like an actual sample of how the game is played. Cool. I'm looking forward to it. Well, listen, thank you so much. I think we're pretty much done. Everyone's just talking about when it's going to be delivered, and they're kind of freaking out about how awesome it is. And a lot of people mentioning the artwork. So congratulations. This has obviously been a huge success. I can't wait to see June 2nd when the final day comes to see where you're at. I don't know, 10,000 backers. I don't know. It's pretty crazy.
It will be crazy.
Congratulations. So thanks so much for coming by. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. We'll see you guys on the next live stream. But guys, keep an eye on this. Go check out the Kickstarter page. Bookmark it. Keep an eye on it. And make sure you pledge if you want to get the game, you want to get the figure, you want to get both. That's pretty much it. Good?
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Take care. Bye.